in today's webinar, I'm going to show you how to use Facebook. Some of the best tips and tricks on how to use it, as well as some privacy and security settings to keep you safe while browsing online. So let's get started. On your computer, if you can go to facebook.com, you can do that on Safari or Google Chrome or Firefox. So when you go to facebook.com and you log in with your account, this is your home screen that you'll see. In the middle here is where all of your friends' posts will automatically show up. This is what they call the timeline. So right now, this Facebook account that I'm logged into doesn't have any friends at the moment, so that's why it doesn't show any posts right here. That's why it gives me a button that says Find Friends, where I'd be able to click on that, type in my friend's name, and then be able to choose from a list of people with that name to be able to send them a friend request. So what we'll start with is we'll go to the top right corner of Facebook and we'll click on the little down arrow. And then that's where we'll go into settings and privacy. So in here is where you can see some of your settings, a privacy checkup, and then some other tools. So for during this webinar, we'll go over the privacy checkup, and we'll be able to show more details in future courses. But for this webinar, we'll start here. And what's really nice about the privacy checkup that is built into Facebook is because it kind of walks you through some of the steps of how to make your account a little bit more secure, a little more private. So if we start with this first one, for example, who can see what you share? What this is talking about is things that you post online. So if you post pictures of your kid's wedding or your child or your new dog, you want to limit who can see it. So for example, this is about information about you. So this is the email we used for our Facebook account. And right now it says only friends can see it. So the people that we accept. And that might be okay. Unless you don't want your friends to necessarily see your email, you could click on that and then choose it from public, friends, or only me. You almost never want to use public on Facebook because that means even people that don't have an account would be able to see that information. So it's not very private. So for the email, I'll leave it to only me. And then my birthday, this test birthday, we have it friends of friends currently. So that means people that I'm friends with and their friends would be able to see the day of my birthday as well as the year that we put in for this account. So some people don't want to show the year, so then you could choose that to only me. But maybe the date, the month and the day, you want just your friends to see. So you can click on that and switch it back to friends. So, which makes it really nice. You can kind of start customizing your settings. A good recommendation, like I mentioned, is friends is a nice option so that your friends can see. But for things that you don't want everyone else to see, like public, you'd want to click and change that. So for friends and following, who can see your friend list on your profile? So that, if we go back for a second, this is your profile. So if I click on my name in the top left corner here, this is what's on my Facebook page. And since we just made the account, it's just a test account with fake information. This is where you would be able to see your friends in the bottom left. Some people want their other friends and other people to see who they're friends with, and other people don't. It just depends on how private you want to be on Facebook. So I'm just going to go back to that privacy checkup, back to where we just were at. And so I don't need people to see who I'm friends with. So I'm going to say only me. And then who can see people, pages, and things you follow? We'll do friends for now. These settings can always be changed. And this is where you can get even more details. So for example, that top one says future posts. things that you post onto Facebook, what do you want it to default as? And you want to make sure it just doesn't say public. Anything other than public is better. So this is defaulting to friends. Friends is okay. Stories, you're on Facebook to share with your friends and family. So friends make sense. And then you can block people if you wanted to here, but you can always block people later on. So nice. So we have finished that one part there. And as you can see, there's a lot of other parts that you can go through. How to keep your account more secure, how people can find you on Facebook. You can start limiting all of those settings. So, for example, if we skip over to how people can find you on Facebook, this is how they would be able to track you. In the sense of, when I say track, as in like track you down, find you on Facebook, send you a request. So some people want to, to be able to be connected and found on Facebook. So they leave this setting. This is one of the very few settings that you have set to everybody. So that way, if like I typed in your name, I'd be able to see you and send you a friend request. If you didn't feel comfortable with that, if you don't feel comfortable with that, you would be able to choose everybody and then just say friends of friends. So you would have to reach out and start adding friends first, and then their friends that might be mutual friends would be able to send you a friend request. And then this is about how people can look you up if they want to use your phone number or email that they have for you. They could try to find you that way. It's really, this is on their end, because it's not posting your phone number and your email on the account. It's just helping people find you. So depending on your privacy level, everyone is okay for this, or you could also switch it back to friends of friends. And then this is an important question here. It's asking if you want to be in the search engines. So such as Google.com. If I typed your name into my Google.com, would you show up in the search of Google, is what this is talking about. Will your Facebook page show up there? And I don't think it's needed. So this is Privacy Checkup. There's a lot of good tools to go through here. In our courses, we go through a deep dive in each and every one of those, just to spend a lot of time going through them. But for the most part, the best tip that we can recommend now is, limit it to friends or friends of friends for the most part. So we'll go out of here, and then we'll go back up into the down arrow, and then go back to settings and privacy. But this time, instead of clicking on Privacy Checkup, we'll click on Settings. So this is where you can see some of your basic information. What we're going to do at this moment is click over onto Security and Login on the left side. So this will show you what devices are logged into your account. And what we'll do over here is use two-factor authentication. That is one of the best ways today to be able to help keep your account secure. So to be able to do that, you would click on Edit, and then you would be able to use an authentication app such as Google Authenticator or Duo Mobile is some of the ones they recommend. If you're not familiar with that, we have courses that will show you how to create two-factor authentication accounts and apps for authentication purposes in more details. But at the minimum, you can use text message to be able to do a verification. So you would basically click on that, you'd put in your cell phone number, and it would send you a text message code. So that way, even if something happened to your Facebook password and login, and someone else had that, they would not be able to easily get into your account because a one-time text message would be sent to your cell phone each time that happened. So turning two-factor authentication on is a really great option for security and to help prevent people from getting into your account. So if I just go back a screen, This is where we're back on that login screen. And not login screen, I'm sorry, security settings screen. And there's a lot of good things you can add in here, such as, choosing 3 to 5 friends in case you accidentally get locked out of your account. They can help you uncover and unlock your account to be able to help you get back in and verify your identity. So you can always click on edit on that and then type in those 3 to 5 names. And that's after you have, after they're friends with you on Facebook. So I know those things can be a little complicated for settings and privacy, and our courses go into more details, and you can pause and go back and break it down into each individual section. So we'll leave out of these settings for now, and we'll go back to the home icon, and we'll go back to the main Facebook page. So what people really like to do on Facebook is communicate with their friends and family. So after you have friends on Facebook, you're able to send private messages as well as public messages. So on this left side of the screen, when I scroll down, you'll see where it says Messenger. So when you click on that, this is Facebook Messenger. And this is where, if you had friends in here, they would all be on the left side, the left column here. For the recent people that you messaged. And these are private messages just between you and that other person. It's not on their public Facebook page. And you can click on the little compose icon to be able, and then you'd be able to type in their name, their Facebook page name. And then down here, you'd be able to send them a message and then hit return or enter on the keyboard to send them that private message. So it makes it really nice to be able to communicate that way. So you can always attach photos and other icons and files, as well as sending emojis if you want. So it makes it really fun. And if we go back to the home screen, this is where you'll see a lot of the other Facebook tools that they have. For most people, they're not really using much on the left side here besides that messenger that was down below. But when you're going to post on your Facebook page, you'd be able to go here you'd be able to click on home, and then in where it says what's on your mind, Jeff, you'd be able to click on that and then type in a post. So what's nice about this is you can, upload a photo if you want from your computer, tag a friend if, a friend is in this post, check in, if you feel comfortable letting people know where you're checking into, and then, you can add some additional details to it. But if we're talking about privacy and security, what's important comes back to what's right below your name where it says friends. So what this means is whatever I post here, these people will see. So this says friends, so just my friends would be able to see it. If I changed it, and I changed it to public, whatever I post here, anybody on Facebook that you're friends with, that you're not friends with, even people without Facebook would be able to see what you posted. So if it's something private and something you don't want the whole world to potentially know, you would want to go to friends to be able to limit that, and then be able to click post. So it makes it pretty nice to be able to easily post something on your page, and then that way when your friend goes into Facebook and they go to home, all of their recent friends' posts will show up right here, just like yours would show up for them. So it makes it pretty nice. And if you go over here on the right side of the screen, you'll see my name is over here as well. That's another button to, it's asking me if I wanted to finish posting, so we'll leave because we don't need to post that. But when you click on your name in the top right corner, it'll take you to your Facebook page for what your friends would see. So you could see that this page doesn't really have anything on it, no pictures, no bio, no real details. So you can add as much or as little details as you'd like. You can go over here to click Edit Details. You can also, depending on if you already have things on your Facebook page, you might not see that. So you would want to go up here where it says Edit Profile. So when you click on that Edit Profile, that's where you can choose a profile picture, a cover photo. You'd be even able to add in a little detail about a bio and some other details about your life. Just keep in mind, depending on the privacy settings that you set, more than just your friends might be able to see it. So just keep a caution, how much information do you want to share and with who are you sharing it? Because you don't necessarily have to fill in any of these, and especially not all of them. And so you'd be able to click on Edit Your About Info, and then that's where you can put in the details that you want. If you're trying to connect with old classmates from the past, maybe you would want to put in the school that you went to. Maybe you would want to change your hometown and edit your hometown. So if people are trying to look and find you, that way you would have that information in there. So it makes it pretty nice. So we can close out of this. Some of the other things in here, this top part says Friends next to the home icon. So that's where you'll see friend requests, so people that send you a request to join Facebook. On this left side is, we'll also show you that when you ask people to be friends with you on Facebook. Facebook Watch, which is the third icon, that is their videos based on things that you watch, things that are trending on Facebook. So this is a sample account, so nothing has been used. So this is just, it says top videos for you, but right now, because no one's using this account, it's just top videos that are on Facebook. So you'd be able to scroll and see, a whole interesting collection of different things on here. But as you go along and watch things in here, it's kind of like a YouTube. Then it'll start recommending videos that are based around your interests. So something we can talk about before we wrap up this webinar is about ads and about ad tracking and that privacy that I was just referring to, about how it would know what you would like to watch as you use Facebook more. So we can go down to this down arrow again and then go to Settings and Privacy. And then we can go to Privacy Checkup. So that's where we were earlier. We did this one and this one here. But if we talk about your ad preferences on Facebook, that's where we can go into here. And it starts to talk about how you're always going to get ads on Facebook. There's no way to turn that off. But there's ways to limit it so they're not as personalized, so they're not sharing as much, quote, anonymous details about you. So you can choose, the different parts of like what is being shared. So if you don't want all this stuff that is personal to you being used for your, ad tracking, that's where you can come in here and kind of start adjusting, things about you. So it makes it really nice. Like I said earlier in this webinar, changing most things to friends. If you feel uncomfortable about any of the information it's asking, just switch it to only me. And since we're in the privacy checkup, we have two more that we can go through. So we'll go to your data settings on Facebook. So these are apps and websites that you connect to if you log in with Facebook. Some people do that, other people don't. You can see this count has never done that. So that's why it says you don't have any apps and websites to remove. If you see things in here that you don't use anymore, you can click the remove button. If you see things in here like Spotify, for example, and you use Spotify and that's how you log into Spotify is with your Facebook account, then, at least for this moment, you could leave that there. We'll have other courses that will show you, better privacy habits and better ways to, not log in with Facebook and, different tools like password managers to be able to keep your passwords separate on different accounts, so that way you don't have to default to use Facebook to log in with those other accounts. But that's a topic for another day. And then if we go to this last one, how to keep your accounts secure. We briefly talked about this earlier, but one of the things is about your password. And we'll have other courses about passwords and, how to keep your password secure, as using specifically a password manager, where one password to get into your vault, and then it recommends and chooses all the passwords for you. And that's what's really important, because you don't want to use the same password on all of your accounts. So, and especially Facebook, especially since it's such a personal social network, you want to make sure your Facebook password is something different than everything else, different than your bank, different than your email, different than your Netflix account. Because if there's ever a data breach at any of those other companies, you don't want someone to be able to try your username and password that you use for Netflix on Facebook. It goes for all your other accounts, but since we're in Facebook, it's important to change it. So if you think you use that password somewhere else, tap that change password button and update that password to something fresh and new. And then there's that extra layer of security that I mentioned about the two-factor authentication through a text message or an app. This screen here will show you a little bit more about it if you click Learn More, or you can click Get Started. I'm just going to click Next, just since we're in the webinar. And then if you want alerts when someone tries to log into your account, it's a good thing to have. Maybe just send you a quick email, that says, hey, someone logged into your Facebook account at 11 p.m. Was this you? And then then you'd be alerted that way. So that's good. We did all the privacy checkup on there. I hope you saw a nice little brief overview of Facebook, and hope you enjoyed that. We have more courses coming, and you would be able to check below on this page to be able to see our current courses and future courses that are coming, and some of those nice offerings. But hope to see you in the next webinar, and hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.